Hey chosen one, I am back with yet another video. Okay, let's get into these baby hairs. Okay, they are really doing it for me. To all of my new subscribers, what's good? I would say you already know what time it is, but you don't because you're new to the channel. So welcome to all of my A1 Day 1 subscribers, baby. You already know what time it is. So I said all that to say this. I am a chosen one. I'm an empath enlightener, and I am walking in my purpose. So that being said, I have a lot of testimonies, trials, tribulations, advice, experiences, expertise, novice, however you want to put it. Whatever you need, I got it. So I have a lot up in this cranium of mine, all right? So that results in stuttering over my words, making up new words, scratching and mixing, child, all that. So if you hear it when I'm speaking, just laugh and like, all right? Don't forget to like this video while you're at it. So today's topic is going to be short and sweet, like myself. It's going to be this. Are you listening? Okay. People are only going to meet you where they've met themselves. And I say that to say this. In life, we have a lot of things. Everybody has a lot of things that they go through. You know, we have pain, we have pleasure, we have passion, and we have purpose. But like I said, people can only meet you where they've met themselves. So if you have somebody that is harboring animosity, depression, anger, grief, sadness, and most of all, unforgiveness. There are a lot of things that we've all done, even I did, that it took me a long time to forgive myself for, simply because either I wasn't in the right headspace or I was just being selfish. Let's just keep it a book, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, when the unforgiveness comes into play, if you're dealing with somebody who has not forgiven themselves or other people in their lives, they're not going to be able to take it far with you because they're only going to be able to meet you where they met themselves. Okay, now I'm all for making somebody better and upgrading them and introducing them to a new way of thinking and a new way of living. That's cool and all. But at the end of the day, when it comes to that, they can only meet you where they've met themselves. Same thing with love. People have different degrees of love. They have different ways of love. We have love languages, all right? I think there's 5, I think, yeah. So if somebody has not really been loved coming up, like in their childhood, or they had a unhealthy way of love, they're only going to be able to love you like that simply because that's all they know. That's where they've met themselves. You know, there are 2 kinds of people in this world. Number 1, you have the people that are, how can I put it? They're basking in their own ambience when it comes to how they want to be treated and how they treat others. So if you have somebody that let's say you have somebody you're dealing with, right? Y'all are in a relationship or it's a budding romance, okay? It's a budding romance. It's climbing, it's getting there. But let's say something happened to them in their childhood and maybe they are progressing that on you. Maybe they're projecting and progressing that behavior on you. That's the first person. The first person is the person who has not digested their trauma. The first person is the person who can't really handle conflict, or when things were going on in their life, they were either pushed aside or they were just completely ignored. Okay, so I'm trying to break it down a little bit better because I'm thinking it better than I'm saying it. Let's say you went through something traumatic in your childhood. You know how it made you feel, but instead of actually sitting with that pain and dealing with that pain and dealing with that trauma and actually feeling your feelings, you're going to project that pain on somebody else. Because that's where you've met yourself. You've met yourself and you stopped. The second person is about the person who meets themselves and they progress and they keep going. That brings you to the second person. The second person who knows what pain feels like. They know what depression feels like. The anger, the guilt, the animosity, the neglect. Whatever you or somebody else has gone through, this brings us to our number two person or second person in life. I like to classify, I am the second person in the scenario because I have been through things. Yes, I've done things that seemed to be unforgiving, but I've forgiven myself and I've paid my dues. So I'm done with that. So that number one person that I just talked about, she's gone. She doesn't reside here anymore. Number two, me. Okay? Now, I'm top two and I ain't number two. Let's just say it on this way. But the second person is somebody who has sat with their pain. They sat with their feelings. They know how it feels to be neglected. They know how it feels to be abused, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, physically. All right? I know what that feels like. So it would be detrimental and it would be childish and immature for me to progress that pain onto others who didn't do anything to me. So like I said, the title of this video, people can only meet you where they've met themselves. Let's recap. That's number one. If they love a certain way and they haven't dealt with that trauma, they haven't dealt with that pain, that hurt, that aggression, that heartbreak, it's going to stop right here. The second person, which I want you to be, I'm going to pray that you're going to be that person who meets themselves and you go further in your journey, in your passion, in your purpose. Simply because, honestly, to me, that's the only way to live. But that second person that I mentioned is not a weak person. That trauma and sitting in that pain and dealing with that pain and feeling that pain is not for the weak. So at the end of the day, that's going to take some self-reflection. That's going to take some sitting down, understanding what happened to you. Understanding that it's not your fault. Forgiving that person, forgiving yourself, or vice versa, and moving on with your life. And knowing when and when not to hold somebody accountable for the pain that they caused you. But whether they caused it to you, it's up to you to move on from that pain. It's up to you to rise above it. All right, chosen one. So I love you so much, but God loves you more. I'm so proud because I'll be rambling. I did pretty good this video, but yeah. So I'm gonna say it again. I love this quote. I think I'm gonna put it up under my picture. This nose ring is slipping. People can only meet you where they've met themselves, chosen one. All right. I love you, but God loves you more. Like I always say, baby, dream, snooze, or lose. You choose, chosen one. Okay? Until next time. Bye.